today is doubting the literal creation story, in particular a six-day creation account. And more and more we're finding, even in the church, people are saying, well, you can't totally believe that those 6 days were literal days that Moses wrote Adam and Eve and Noah. That's all an allegory. Tower of Babel, those are allegories. We know from archaeology and science now that can't be trusted. And I don't know. It says in the Ten Commandments, for in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth. And I believe that. And Jesus repeats it. And you know what Jesus said? For if you believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote about me. But if you don't believe his writings, how will you believe my words? Of course, Moses wrote he wrote all of Genesis, those first 11 chapters that people doubt. Jesus said, if you don't believe that, you don't believe me. And so I would contend that people that say they're Christians and pastors and evangelists that say, well, we don't take those stories seriously. Well, I hope you don't read Jesus at all, because you probably don't believe it and you're just going to abuse it.
Well, if you can't believe that God created the earth by his miraculous power, then how can you believe that Jesus rose from the dead? How can you believe that Jesus performed any miracles if somehow God can't perform a miracle and create the earth and create everything that we see?
Quick answer. I don't want to get too deep in the evolution creation science, but one thing I think is pretty clear. When God made Adam, he was made with a certain amount of age built in. Adam was not created as a baby crawling around. And the trees were not made as little saplings. He made full-grown trees. So when people look in the archaeological record and they see a period of time, God can build that in. People say, oh, well, we know it takes millions of years for the light of stars to get to the earth. What prevents God from creating the stars with a light already en route so people can see it? And so they're just basically it's a lack of faith in God's power that is but this is one of the trademarks you'll see. And I'm sad to say I've sat in churches and Sabbath schools in our faith where they scoffed at the six-day creation.
Pastor Doug, we also see amongst Christians now an idea to try and rationalize the creation account, 6 literal days, with some kind of theistic evolution where it's not 6 literal days, but they say there's 6 long periods of time. And of course, when you do that, and it's not 6 literal days, then what is that to the seventh-day Sabbath?
Yeah, it destroys it. A little quote here from Patriarchs and Prophets, and this is page 112. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. For he spoke, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood fast. The Bible recognizes no long ages in which the earth was slowly evolved from chaos. Of each successive day of creation, the sacred record declares that it consisted of the evening and the morning like all other days that have followed. These are 24-hour days. They're not ages. And I believe that. I think doubting that is one of the devil's deceptions that we've been talking about. All right. Any thoughts, or we can go to point number 3?
I think we're ready for number 3.
Denying the divinity of Jesus and the person